In my last video, I theorized that women started, or at least heavily contributed to modern-day EDC culture. Many of you commented that this was not entirely accurate and that EDC itself is much older. While this is obvious, I still wanted to get into the actual history of EDC, so let's get into it. Have you ever wondered why people carry pocket knives, flashlights, multi-tools, even if they're not in the military or like law enforcement? Why is it that some of us feel naked walking out of the door without a few essential items? That instinct to be ready to have what you need on you goes way back, like ancient times back. Today we're diving into the fascinating origins of everyday carry, also known as EDC, and how it evolved from a matter of survival to an entire culture, a mindset, and for some, a way of life. So stick with me for the next few minutes because we're going to take a deep dive through time from the Stone Age to the Information Age. You'll see just how long humans have been mastering the art of carrying what they need to face the world. By the end, you'll probably never look at your keychain or your pocket knife the same way again. Let's start at the beginning. Prehistoric humans didn't have bug-out bags or tactical backpacks, but they absolutely carry the tools of survival with them. Archaeological digs show that early humans carried flint tools, sharp stones, scrapers, and fire-starting kits made from pyrite and tinder fungus. These weren't just tools, they were life insurance. Some even crafted small leather pouches, think like proto-EDC kits, that held herbs, medicinal roots, and small pieces of meat or dried fruit. It wasn't exactly optional. If you were going out to hunt, gather, or even migrate, you brought your essentials. As civilizations developed, so did their carry systems. In ancient Egypt, craftsmen and merchants often wore belts with attached pouches or carried shoulder slings with tools of the trade. In Rome, soldiers were equipped with satchels called localus and belts known as balteus, which held their dagger, money, and small tools. Roman citizens also carried oil flasks and utensils. Think of it like fork, charger, and wallet all in one. Moving into medieval Europe, commoners, tradesmen, and travelers all relied on pouches, satchels, or belt-worn kits. A blacksmith might carry a sharpening stone, a farmer had a sickle. Even something like a simple eating knife was considered essential for both meals and defense. The thread running through all of this, the human need to be equipped. Whether it was a stone blade or a utility pouch, EDC was survival. It wasn't style. It wasn't even convenience. It was necessity. Fast forward to the 20th century. Warfare, especially global warfare, changed everything. During World War I, trench life was brutal. Soldiers didn't just carry rifles. Their personal kits included compasses, trench knives, mess kits, candles, matches, and water flasks. Some even carved their own handles or grips for their tools, personalizing them like we do today. But it was World War II that really standardized the idea of a carry kit. Soldiers had loadouts packed with field dressing, maps, lighters, utility knives, small notepads, and the legendary Swiss Army knife, a perfect example of compact utility. Introduced for soldiers in the late 1800s, it became a symbol of self-reliance. The war taught people, both soldiers and civilians, that being equipped could be the difference between life and death. And when those soldiers came home, that mindset came with them. Many veterans continued to carry pocket knives, lighters, and small tools. That sense of readiness became embedded into civilian culture. Then came Vietnam. Jungle warfare demanded lighter, faster, and more modular gear. The introduction of MOLLE webbing, quick access pouches, and compact radios set the stage for tactical gear design. Survival kits became more personalized. EDC was becoming a mindset, not just a military requirement. What's most fascinating here is the crossover. Military EDC habits bled into everyday life. Firefighters, police officers, hunters, mechanics, people began tailoring their gear the way soldiers did. It wasn't just a knife anymore, it was your knife. It had a purpose, a place, and a story. With the war behind them and industrial progress surging, the 1950s to 1970s saw a boom in personal utility tools. Companies like Buck Knives and Victorinox became household names. The Buck 110 folding knife, introduced in 1964, became a staple for outdoorsmen and working class folks alike. You weren't prepared unless you had one of these on your belt or in your glove box. Zippo lighters became symbols of both practicality and identity. You didn't just use it, you passed it down. It was dependable, durable, and something you carried every day. The invention of the ballpoint pen, the rise of mechanical watches, and even things like metal combs and cigarette cases, they all became part of what men and later women considered everyday essentials. And culturally, EDC took on a kind of quiet pride. Be a man, carry your tools, or woman, was an unspoken rule. Your pockets reflected your responsibilities, fixing things, defending yourself, providing, and being useful. As manufacturing evolved, tools got smaller and lighter. The idea of personal loadouts became more modular, like choosing which watch to wear based on your day or environment. This set the stage for something bigger than just tools. EDC was about identity, responsibility, and readiness in daily life, not just emergencies. Enter the internet. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, forums and blogs dedicated to gear exploded. Blade forums, EDC forums, and eventually the subreddit EDC became digital campfires where gear nerds, survivalists, and curious beginners compared pocket dumps, debated gear tiers, and swapped loadout photos. Multi-tool like the Leatherman Wave took off. You had titanium pry bars, flashlight keychains, custom lanyards, and paracord everything. A flashlight was no longer just a tool, it was a part of your everyday readiness, and it had to fit your style. Wallets shrunk, gear got smaller, and the line between utility and aesthetics started to blur. People didn't just want a tool, they wanted the right tool, with the right weight, material, and finish. The survivalist and prepper movement amplified this shift. With growing concerns about natural disasters, economic instability, and even terrorism, EDC took on a new flavor. What would you need if everything went wrong? Urban explorers, field medics, photographers, and office workers all had different takes on what to carry, but the mindset stayed consistent. Be prepared, be aware, be capable. Today, EDC isn't just about preparedness. It's about adaptability. For some, it's minimalist and sleek. For others, it's tactical and robust. You've got everyday carry setups tailored for commuting, hiking, security, parenting, travel, digital work, and even medical emergencies. There's EDC gear with built-in USB drives, credit card-sized multi-tools, solar watches, and even anti-surveillance tools like RFID blocking wallets. What's more, EDC has become social. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok feature pocket dumps as content. Brands tailor their products for that visual moment. It's not just what you carry, it's how you present it. You'll see flat lay photos of titanium pens on leather trays, matte black flashlights on wax canvas, and brass Zippos paired with moleskin notebooks. But strip away the aesthetics and the soul of EDC remains. You carry what you need to move through your day with confidence, security, and intention. EDC has returned to what it was thousands of years ago, but with materials like carbon fiber and magnesium alloy instead of stone and twine. As for my personal EDC background, it began about 22 years ago. I used to help my uncle fix cars, and I found having a multi-tool flashlight and some other odds and ends on me made my life a lot easier. And by the time I got my own car and was driving all over New York City alone, it was nice having means of independence on me. I remember my car broke down on the highway super early on a Sunday morning. I was heading to work and my transmission just imploded. I knew I had a flywheel issue, but it was an old 1990 POS. I coasted over to the shoulder and was able to use the tools in my bag and some stuff in my car to get me to putt the rest of the way and not need a tow truck. Flash forward 6 years, and I find myself with a new EDC loadout, but this time I was in the military. I learned about close quarter combat and all the cool, tactical stuff, and I loved it. But after a decade of service, I like to keep a low profile, and now I carry a more practical, minimalist loadout. So there you have it, the origins of everyday carry, from sharpened stones to titanium multi-tools, from fire kits to field notebooks, from survival to style. EDC is a part of who we are. It reflects our needs, our values, and even our worldview. The question isn't whether or not you carry gear. The question is, are you carrying the right gear for your life? If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into security, preparedness, and gear culture. And drop a comment below with what is in your pocket right now. Thanks for watching, and always stay ready. See you on the flip side.